Right then, excuse me. Hello, good evening and welcome. Good morning and welcome. Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Paul. I'm the increasingly aging Sado that does Knickknack's Daily Teaser, and I'm also someone who watches films occasionally and watches TV shows and occasionally wants to tell you about them as well as ask you pointless questions. If you're interested in some of my other content, you can hit this little I button up here. That'll take you to various bits and bobs. But right at the moment, I saw a TV show last night and wanted to tell you about it. I saw episode 7 of For All Mankind Series 2, and I wanted to share my thoughts. Episode 7, Don't Be Cruel, opens with Ellen Wilson and Thomas Paine, Jodie Balfour, Dan Donahue, having a sophisticated post-work drink before they head off to a summit meeting in South Korea. The drink gets interrupted by an urgent call for Ellen. Her father is in hospital, having had a heart attack. Thomas heads for the jet alone, knowing that Ellen will follow her later. And he spends most of the flight on the phone to Margot, Ren Schmidt, only for Margot to be left baffled when the phone call at the other end is mysteriously and abruptly terminated. It's only after the titles that the world finds out what we already know, that the jet Thomas was on was shot down by the Russians. Post-titles, we see the consequences of the Soviet action. Much to her dismay, Ellen is named as the acting NASA administrator. In other words, she's a temporary replacement for Thomas. It's something she handles well, but really didn't want to end up with. At any rate, at the first NASA crisis meeting after the incidents, one where she announces what her new job, both Margot, Molly, and General Bradford are at the meeting. Molly, played by Sonia Walger, is keen to find out what's happening to her astronauts in Sky City. Margot, Ren Schmidt, is keen to help by opening a channel with the Russian delegation's head, Sergei, Piotr Adamczyk, Adamczyk, I still can't pronounce it, and General Nelson, John Marshall Jones, is keen to see that the disputed US mining claim on the moon comes back to the US. With all of this happening, Kelly, City Wu, the Baldwin's adopted daughter, her efforts to find her birth family are slowly bearing fruit. Danielle, over in Sky City and being held hostage by the Soviets, gets to meet a mysterious Russian who only introduced himself as an engineer. And Margot, in amongst all this, manages to warn Sergei about a small bit of rubber, which sounds odd so I come to say it, but there we go. Now, what did I make of all this lot? And what am I thinking so far? So far, again, I am enjoying this second series of For All Mankind. And Don't Be Cruel. Granted, last night's episode, Don't Be Cruel, has a certain soap element creeping out. Karen's brief fling with Guldo's son Danny, Ellen's complicated relationship with Larry and Pam, Kelly finding her birth mother died in childbirth. Yes, it's a little soapy, but hey, sometimes you've got to add these in to keep a storyline going. But there is plenty of real history and alternative Cold War action right from the start. Seeing a jumbo jet, a passenger jet, a civilian jet shot down by a Russian fighter jet opens the episode out with some very high drama indeed. And quite a lot of tension that rules over the rest of the episode as well, I should add. There's a certain amount of mystery. Who was that Russian engineer that talked to Danielle? We don't know. And it closes with a bunch of NASA astronauts retaking the disputed mine. Frankly, yes, there's downsides. But yes, again, there's also upsides. And there's a little bit of historical truth as well. The KAL 007 flight was based on a real-world incident, for example. There's a mention made of an O-ring. It's usually a little round piece of rubber that's used to seal a couple of connected together pipes, basically. And it's what, in the real world, in our world, destroyed the challenge. It literally froze overnight and caused a leak that destroyed the Challenger in that famous crash. So there's real world parallels that they use to forward the story. The Russian copy of the shuttle they talk about, that was called the Buran, that was genuinely there. So there's genuine elements of real world stuff fueling the story here. And I have to admit, I'm impressed. Again, I'm impressed by both the overall storytelling, the overall acting, and by the overall look and feel of this series. It's good stuff. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm going to be carrying on watching this series. I'm going to watch the next episode next Tuesday on the 25th of May. I'll be releasing my video and written reviews the day after. I would love it if you've joined me. Have fun, be good, and look out for that tree.
Have a good day.